My goodness, look at all that. I'm pretty sure that's not part of the design and not part of the plan for the area. I realised we're regenerating, but I didn't think we were going for jungle.
Yeah, what's happened is there used to be a cantilevered glass canopy, and I think that's the gutter at the back that's become blocked, flooded, and nobody's done anything about it. So all of that vegetation is probably over quite a few years built up.
As things go, that's not exactly what we were aiming for when we regenerated this part of town. The weather is horrible, but it looks like we got back from town at just the right time, because it's now pouring down. But I'm a bit exhausted. It's going to be one of those days where not an awful lot gets done, so I don't know how interesting this vlog's going to end up being. And the vlog is still uploading, the one that I filmed yesterday and was editing last night, but then Jen fell quite ill, and I spent the night dealing with her instead of editing, because priorities, you know. So I finished that up today, and it's still uploading now. I rendered it out, and it had a failure right at the end. I still don't know why, but it just failed to render, and then I rendered it out again, and it seemed to have worked, so that's uploading, but it's still going. We've been out in town, and I did a bit of a game haul, and I'll show you what I got in a minute. But for the most part, basically, today is going to be spent making the last few pages for the All of the House Book 2, and then seeing how we go from there. Up to about page 60 odd. I need 100 pages of comics at least, maybe a few more. It depends on whether we end up in the middle of a story or not at a page 100. If we do, then you get a few more. If you don't, then you don't. But after that, I've got a load of other stuff. You've got to do the writing parts of it, because every comic book has a few pages of copyright information and details like that, plus the extras. Always put in extras when you're making a comic collection, otherwise why would people buy it? People would just look at your stuff online. Make your collection worth having, rather than just as, here's an offline copy of the comic. So you always put extras in. Last one had some behind the scenes stuff with some scans of the original character designs and things like that. This one, I don't know what I'm going to have in it yet. I may do extra comics, may do ones that we never actually put online, but there's a couple where we kind of made them and didn't use because they didn't feel quite right, but they're interesting to see anyway, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, got here a fairly substantial game haul, because I picked up a few today that I just had to, and a few we picked up on Saturday, so let's have a quick look through them. Now I'm going to start with a bit of a crap one, to be honest with you. Crazy Frog Racer, yeah, a £1 game. It's really heavy though, substantial, because the manual, strangely enough, is quite thick. I mean, this is a cheap cash-in on that stupid Crazy Frog thing, but a substantial manual nevertheless. Ruined, it's used, and the case is damaged, so it doesn't even sit in, but at least it's here. A lot of the time you don't have a manual. The game, a few fingerprints, nothing too bad. I think it's going to load just fine. All of these are untested so far, because finally have been around, I just didn't have time. Now this one is not a PlayStation 2 game. I know, shock, horror. A PlayStation 2 collector who picked up something else, my goodness. It's Donkey Konga on the GameCube. And the reason I had to have this, aside from the fact that it's Donkey Konga and therefore is a bit daft, is because I, of course, have the Kongas and the box in perfect condition and the carrying case. Hi, Snuggles. She's brought it in. Do you want to show that off for the fans?
People will remember.
Yeah.
And with the original tag. Oh, I slipped it, hold up.
Put it back before you damage it. Never been used. Never been used at all. The bag's never been used. The game, though the game isn't in there. For some reason the game isn't there. The bag's never been used. The congas have never been used. The bongos even. So, now I've got the game to go with it. And decent quality case, really nice. Decent quality manual as well. And the game is in pretty good condition too. So, we'll give that a try later on. Well, I'll load it up and see how it works anyway. It's got what looks to be dust and maybe... I'll just throw it away. But yeah, at least we've got it now. Now this one I had to take back and get cleaned up because it just didn't work. I'm not sure what's going to work either now, but it's X Squad. I don't know much about it. There isn't a manual, but the disc now looks in perfect condition. I'll show you. Not a mark on it. Not a marker whatsoever. Whether it'll work is a different matter, because it looked pretty good last time, but wouldn't load. So we'll wait and see. Now, this is going to be long, so let's get through them quick. Very good condition case for World Super Police. Never heard of this one, but manual's in reasonable condition. And quickly check the disc. Loads of scratches. Probably going to need taking back and cleaning, but we'll give it a try anyway. Next up we have another one, really decent condition case. A few dents on the back, but nothing too bad. It's XGRA, Extreme G Racing Association. I'm assuming that's a sequel to Extreme G Racing or whatever. Manuals here, pretty good condition, so give that a try later. This one, another one, decent condition case. I've been picking up the ones with good condition cases lately. Simpsons Skateboarding. No idea how good this is going to be. Probably going to be a bit crap. But manual's creased to bits, but at least the game is here. Give that a try later. This one, the moment I saw the title, I had to have it. I loved Rampage on the Spectrum, so you know what's coming here. So, Rampage Total Destruction. If it's anything like the Spectrum game, I will be happy. If it's not, I will be severely disappointed. But I've got to give it a try. Really good condition case. Really happy with this. Manual's in pretty damn good condition too. And game's here, of course. So, let's move on. Now, next up we have one that I have no idea about. It's one of those where, you know, little kids, little boys who love anime, obsess over this thing. So it's Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2. And yeah, really good condition case. It's a late style case, so they're not the best ever, but it's in pretty good condition. A little bit of a crease on the manual where my finger is here, but at least the manual's here. A few marks on the manual as well, but we'll get by. Now this one, not a very good condition case. It's got dents and a mark on it, but it's SSX on tour. Yeah, we'll give it a try. Manual's here, I can tell that without opening it because it's so heavy. And it looks like the extra bump is here as well. Yes, extra bump is here. At the back there. So, give that a try later on as well. If I get through all my work today, my reward is to try some of these. Next up we have Surf's Up. Decent condition case again. Well, actually no, a few dents on the back. Manuals here in pretty reasonably good condition. I mean, there's some creases in, but I could iron them out if need be. So, yeah, very happy there as well. Now, this one I've never even heard of, but of course I am collecting them all, so I have to, especially for 50p. It's Action Man Atom Alpha Teens on Machines. That's a bit of a mouthful. Really good condition case. Light as a feather though. I don't think the manual is in here. Oh no, I'm still right. Manual is in here. So yeah, quite happy with that. How this one? I remember Turok on PC. I've never read the comic, but I remember this on PC. So Turok Evolution. Is it going to be any good? Don't know. Moderate condition case. I mean, there's some damage underneath where they've hidden it with a sticker, but alright condition case aside from that. The manual and the bump are here, so all in all for £1, not bad. Another one, really good condition case, Disney Treasure Planet. No manual though. Suppose you can't have everything. Next up we have moderately good condition case, unless you look at the dents on the back where someone has literally put their finger through the inlay. Not the best thing ever, but for 50p I won't complain too much. No manual. It's it's the Spiderwick Chronicles, by the way. Now this one, I think, considering that it's for a kid, it's come out quite well. It does have the problem where the top of the inlay has been scuffed because it's been poking out of the plastic, but anyway, can't complain too much. Power Rangers Dino Thunder, decent condition, all things considered. No manual, you'd expect that from a kid's thing. They've obviously lost it at some point. The amount of kids that do that is amazing. Okay, that's all I got on Saturday, so I think you'll agree that's a pretty good haul. But today, when we went in to take back some memory that didn't work, because sadly, you pay your money, you take your chance, we found that they've had more games traded in, so I had to pick these up. Now let's go through them in order of what I think is going to be the best. So we're going to start with the cheapest, not a one I'm familiar with, and that's Eve of Extinction. Decent condition case. And no manual, but the bump is here, so I don't know what's going on there. Who knows? But yeah, I'll give that a try later on. It appears to be some sort of laser sword thing that's not a lightsaber, honest. Some sort of fighting game. I'll give it a try anyway. Now, the next one is another Naruto. This one being Uzumaki Chronicles. Decent condition case. I think you'll agree for that one. And it's heavy, yep, there's a manual here. Decent condition as well, so quite happy with that. Be the hero, live the adventure. Yep, fair enough. Now, let's get into the ones that I think are going to be really good fun to play. The first up we have Broken Sword. Decent condition case, and pretty happy with that. But no manual. That's a shame. That's a real shame, especially since it's a £3 game. So yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that. And I think this final one's also not going to have a manual, but I had to have it the moment I saw it on the shelf. Even though I hadn't actually gone in to buy any games today, the moment I saw this, I had to have it. And that's Beyond Good and Evil. And everyone who knows PlayStation and collects PlayStation will be going, how did you not have that in your collection? You know why? Because I've never seen it for sale, ever. Literally ever. I wanted it when it was back at the time when it first came out, but at the time I couldn't afford it. And that's one of the things. When PlayStation was still the big thing, I was incredibly poor. I was at university the first... when it came out, I was at university and I couldn't afford it. Then I eventually had enough money and I bought one when I was in my 3rd year of university, and I could just about afford it. But I couldn't afford many games, so I didn't have an awful lot of a collection. And then I was very poor after that because... it's one of those things. I was living in the northeast, weren't many jobs, so I couldn't afford many games. But anyway, now I can, and I'm making up for it. Well, it's kind of true. But yeah, good condition case. Really happy with that. And turns out the manual is here. It's got a pre-owned sticker on. I'll try and peel that off carefully. And the game's here as well. So all in all, very, very happy. The noise you can hear is the fan of the little computer that I keep. Yeah, the little MacBook. An old 2006 era MacBook, and it still works. And I'm planning to edit the vlog on it if I ever travel anywhere. But I have just finished page 100 of the new book. All of the House, book 2, all the comics are done. Just under 400, it's like 398 comics, because some of them are 6-panel and therefore take up a bit more space. But 100 pages, full of comics. It's going to be really good. I think this one has some of the best comics we did from the early era. It's where we actually found our feet as comic writers, and I'm really, really happy with it. So I'm looking forward to getting the proof copy of this and seeing how it looks on paper. Really looking forward to it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for what I've got for today. It's been a bit of a dull day, a lot of work. Hopefully we'll have more for you tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. Bye. Every time my sister comes to visit, she always, without fail, writes something in my daily diary. This is what I use to make sure that I don't forget appointments or anything like that. And this time is no different, so I was flicking through because I knew she would probably have written something, and nothing was coming up. And then, on the 21st of September, you thought I'd forgotten. You might notice I haven't got anything written there. That's because right now I don't have anything for that week, which is quite nice. It's one of those rare weeks, so yeah. Thanks, Beth. I knew you hadn't forgotten. I knew you wouldn't have.